All right, let's get you the latest from the West Asia war, where Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf is reported to have resigned from Iran's negotiating team, according to Israel's media reports. Now, the development, if confirmed, signals fresh uncertainty around ongoing diplomatic efforts amid rising regional tensions. Now, the report suggests that the move may be linked to internal disagreements and possible intervention by hardline elements, highlighting divisions within Iran's leadership over the direction of talks. Let me in fact go across to my colleague Aditya Vadhavan for more on this front as well. Aditya, earlier we had been talking about disagreements that were occurring in the adversary side of Iran. However, now we are getting Iranian media reports that in fact Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf may have just resigned from the negotiating team. If you have any more details on this front, please take us through this.
News had come last night, that Ghalibaf, the Iranian parliamentary speaker, has resigned from the negotiating team that was talking to the United States, considering under the pressure by the IRGC. So definitely now it seems it is a likely possibility that the IRGC are calling the shots in Iran. Because definitely, if you see the statements of Iranian foreign ministers, Araghchi's statements, and if you see the statements of the Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson and the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, all of them, these statements reflect to the fact that all are united, and somewhere down the line, the IRGC is calling the shots, and definitely we could expect the same, the key decisions in the times to come will be taken by the hardliners in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, and it needs to be seen how this will affect the Iran's completely, the government structure that exists in Iran. Shivani.
Right, Aditya, I'll request you to please stay on with us. We have some more information flowing our way, where the Embassy of India in Tehran has issued a fresh advisory urging Indian citizens not to travel to Iran, whether by air or land, citing ongoing regional tensions and operational uncertainties. Authorities say that airspace restrictions continue to impact international flight operations, making travel unsafe. The government has also asked all Indian nationals currently in Iran to leave the country through designated land routes in coordination with the embassy. The advisory comes despite limited resumption of flights, underlining continued security concerns in the region. So, Aditya, we've been seeing these kind of, advisories being issued by the Embassy of India in Tehran. However, this is the latest in a slew of measures in order to make sure that every Indian is in fact safe and secure.
Advisory comes, the advisory by the Indian Embassy in Tehran comes at a point, where the hostilities are expected to begin shortly in the West Asia, wherein we have seen the statements by the Israeli defense minister that Israel is ready to renew strikes in Iran, and definitely even some U.S. cargo planes and air fuel tankers are seen heading towards the Middle East. So completely now we could expect the West Asia War 2.0 to begin shortly, because the diplomacy has failed, the talks have failed, there have been no talks in Islamabad, the talks, Islamabad 2.0 talks, because the Iranian side didn't turn up in Islamabad, even after, as per the statements made by the Pakistanis that they were in constant touch with the Iranians. But however, now it needs to be seen, because this travel advisory is very, very pertinent, and the travel advisory says that no Indians should travel to Iran at this juncture.
All right. Thank you so much, Aditya, for all those inputs. So we are now moving forward to some other national